Hello everyone, I am glad to welcome you to our channel. Today I propose to prepare a homemade version of the capital cupcake, so the recipe turns out to be very tender, crumbly, and with a lot of raisins. The preparation will not take you much time and the result will be very pleasing. Every single dough product needs to be at room temperature, which is why I make sure to remove them from the refrigerator well in advance. Also in advance I prepared the mold from the inside. I greased it with butter and sprinkled with flour, or you can just cover it with parchment. Also, instead of a rectangular mold, you can use a round 20-22 cm diameter or small muffin molds. To the warm creamy mass, I add a small amount of sugar, some vanilla sugar, and a pinch of salt to the blend, then gently rub everything together using a spatula. Next, I use a mixer to whip the mixture until it becomes lighter in color and gains an airy texture, which typically requires about 3 minutes. Is your kitchen equipped with a mixer? If not, that's fine. Initially use a spatula to mix thoroughly and then transition to a whisk, adding eggs one at a time and carefully blending after each addition. Subscribe to our channel, cook with us, and share your impressions in the comments. I repeat that the butter and eggs must be at room temperature, so they are easier and faster to combine. If you add cold eggs to warm butter, it will quickly become grains and you will no longer have a homogeneous mass. After adding all the eggs, I mix well with a spatula, collecting from the bottom and sides of the bowl. Separately combine flour and baking powder. We gradually sift the mixture in 2 or 3 intervals into the combined mass, then proceed to thoroughly and evenly blend the dough. The cupcake batter must not over kneaded, as it could become drier and denser. Therefore, as soon as the batter achieves a uniform consistency, we halt immediately to ensure the desired texture. The dough is perfectly prepared, displaying an incredibly soft and delightful consistency. In the traditional manner, a generous amount of raisins is incorporated into the capital cake. First, I thoroughly washed them, soaked them in warm water, and gently dried them with a paper towel before proceeding. Mix his dough thoroughly to ensure the raisins are evenly distributed throughout. I transfer the already prepared dough in the prepared form, and I distribute evenly. During baking, the cake will still rise well. Therefore, I'm filling it out. Form on watery. To make the upper crack more uniform, create a groove like this using a spatula to ensure smoothness. I will bake the cupcake in a heated oven to 170 degrees for approximately 1 hour. I'm fully prepared and delighted with how perfectly rosy it turned out. The cupcake should spring back slightly when pressed. A wooden toothpick test assures dryness and cleanliness. Allow it to cool briefly before transferring to a plate or board in the north. The delicacy of the cake makes it easy to lose its shape. If desired, you can sprinkle powdered sugar on top. When I made this cake at home, I realized why so many people love it so much. It comes out moderately sweet and with a nice creamy taste. Observe its remarkable softness, which dissolves blissfully in the mouth, truly a benchmark for ideal cakes. I opted to bake the majority in a rectangular form and the remaining portion into delightful muffin shapes for variety. This cake can be stored for up to 30 days. I usually put it in a bag and leave it at room temperature. It seems to me that every day it becomes more delicious. It can also be stored in the refrigerator or even frozen. If you're new to making this at home, consider giving it a shot. It's likely to charm you with its delightful texture and flavor. Dislike raisins? Substitute with other dried fruits, nuts, or even chocolate chips for a personalized twist. Do try preparing this recipe and share your experience in the comment section. Also, remember to bookmark the recipe and spread its joy among your friends. I sincerely hope you enjoy your meal tremendously and have a truly successful cooking experience.